Welcome to The Explainer. In the crazy fast world of food retail, there's a huge difference between a manager who just runs the floor and a real leader who builds a winning team. Today, we're going to map out that whole journey, how you go from controlling tasks to empowering people. Let's get into it. So, at the end of the day, modern management is all about this big shift, right? It's moving from control to empowerment. That old school boss, they control, they enforce, they check up on you. But the modern leader, they mentor, they develop their people, and they empower them to take real ownership. And this isn't just about being nicer, believe me. It's a huge strategic shift that leads to success. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the absolute non-negotiables, that unseen foundation. Then we'll get into mastering daily operations, making that leap from being a controller to being a coach, how to invest in your people, and finally, we'll put it all together to see what a modern retail leader really looks like. Okay, so every single great food retail department, it's built on something you can't even see, but man, is it critical, a rock-solid foundation of safety and hygiene. It might not be the most glamorous part of the job, but if you get this wrong, nothing else really matters. And where does it all start? Well, it's with the official rulebook. Whether it's from the Hellenic Food Authority, like you see here, or whatever your local equivalent is, believe me, these guides are not optional reading. They lay out your legal and, frankly, moral responsibility to keep food safe, from the second it arrives to the moment a customer buys it. As the manager, the buck really does stop with you. You're the one on the hook for implementing food safety systems like HACCP, making sure staff hygiene is on point, overseeing all the food handling, managing waste, even maintaining the equipment. To put it simply, these are the absolute non-negotiables of the job. All right, so once we've got that safety foundation locked down, we can start building on top of it. Now let's look at the daily rhythm of the business. Because, look, guaranteeing safety is step one, but you've also got to deliver results. Mastering the daily operations is basically a constant juggling act. You're not just managing inventory, you're actively fighting against waste. You're not just placing an order, you're negotiating for every last bit of quality and cost savings. And merchandising, that's not just stocking shelves, it's about creating an experience that makes people want to buy. And it all boils down to costing, protecting that all-important profit margin. And let's be real, this is so far from a quiet 9-to-5 job. The pressure is on from that frantic morning setup all the way through the chaotic peak hours on weekends and holidays. Now, a manager might try to oversee this from an office, but a true leader, they're right there on the floor, in the thick of it, supporting the team when it really counts. And that brings us to a really crucial tool in your toolkit, the schedule. Great leaders know this isn't just about filling in slots on a spreadsheet. It's about strategy. When you analyze your peak hours, distribute the work fairly, and try to create some stability, you're doing so much more than just managing workflow. You're directly improving your team's quality of life. And that is a powerful, powerful retention tool. Okay, so we've talked about the systems, we've talked about the operations. Now we get to shift gears to what I think is the most important part. Leading people. This right here is the pivot point where a good manager gets the chance to become a truly great leader. Let's talk about a hard truth in today's job market, shall we? There is a serious shortage of qualified, talented people in retail. And that one simple fact completely changes the power dynamic. Your best people, they have options. And trust me, they know it. And what this reality means is you need a whole new playbook. That old my way or the highway thing, it just doesn't fly anymore, because your employees can easily find another highway. Your job now is to build a culture that's so positive, your top talent wouldn't even think about leaving. So what does this attractive style actually look like? Well, it's about way more than just a paycheck. Yeah, it means providing fair schedules, but it also means genuinely valuing your team's expertise, recognizing their hard work, and building a culture where people collaborate instead of compete. And this all leads us perfectly into what is, maybe, the single most powerful tool you have for building a great team, investing in them through training. It's how you turn a group of employees into a self-sufficient, motivated force to be reckoned with. The data on this is super clear. Continuous training pays off, big time. When your team understands the why behind what they're doing, they become way more autonomous, they need less of your direct supervision, and they deliver better results for the business. It is a total win-win. And look, we are not just talking about some one-and-done orientation day here. Effective training is a continuous loop. It covers everything from the fundamentals of hygiene and those HACCP protocols, all the way to the finer points of customer service and sales. Yeah, a modern leader, they don't leave any of this to chance. They systematize it. They build out a clear training journey for every single employee, from day one to month one to year one and beyond. And they track it, making sure everyone is constantly growing and sharpening their skills. All right, so we've covered the foundation, we've gone through the operations, and we've talked about the people. Let's put all these pieces together and really define what this modern retail leader looks like. First up, the modern leader is systematic. I mean, they know the rules inside and out. They have mastered that daily operational dance that keeps the business running safely and smoothly. They are the architect of that solid foundation. And second, they are empathetic. They haven't forgotten what it's like to be on the front lines, you know? They use that firsthand knowledge to build a really supportive culture where people feel seen and valued, not just like a number on a schedule. And last but definitely not least, they are forward-thinking. They're not just running around putting out today's fires, they are planting the seeds for tomorrow's growth. They are constantly investing in their team, building a workforce that is more skilled, more confident, and ready for pretty much any challenge. So in the end, this shift from being a boss who just controls to a leader who actually develops people, well, it's not just some business tactic. It's a choice. It's a choice about who you want to be. Are you going to have a team that just follows orders or a team that truly owns its success? As this explainer shows, that choice is entirely yours.